the sea right behind me, residential apartments right in front of me. I can describe them basically as remnants of war zone. The impact of the tidal wave or the sea rise has really affected the residents of Fuveme. Over the period, they've been calling on the state to, as a matter of urgency, come to their aid to build the sea defense wall that will shield them from the impact of tidal wave. Barely 2 years ago, government officials came here bearing gifts or relief items in their hands, hoping to give to people who were hard hit by tidal wave effects. This entire place was a habitat for about 100 people. But today, the entire place has been deserted. The coconut trees that served as shelter for the government officials who came here with relief items has totally died, and they can't really bear fruits anymore. Residents have abandoned their buildings. You can see right in your shots that these buildings are inhabitable because the tidal wave has actually occupied their homes, sucking them to, as it were, go look for a different place to stay. So what happened in your community quite recently?
Oh, quite recently, let's say last week Sunday, we were sleeping in the night. And all that I will hear is boom, 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 because this is my room, this is where I sleep. So all that I could hear is boom, boom. So we all wake up. So let's see, the tidal wave was coming. It was very around 10 to 11. So it was very heavy, so we don't know what to do, and we are packing our things. That night the sea was coming very heavy, so it was very, I don't see it before. This is why I sleep in the night. So I was sleeping that night before I was hearing the thunder wave disturbing, boom, boom, boom. I don't know what to do. That's why this is my pillow, as you can see. Oh, this is the hole that we create. The time that the night that the thunder waves was coming heavily, like we create a hole here so that because the room is full, so we create a hole here so that the water will be passing through.
Let's take a look at the second room and how it looks like. So this is how the sand actually occupied the entire place they used to sleep, and they've been able to scoop it out from the first room. But this room, they've abandoned it now. The bed is here lying empty, and other belongings they've been able to dry outside. That is a building that has collapsed when the water came struggling to find its way into the community. And the community folks who couldn't really wake up early enough to pave way for the water to flow woke up losing their property to the devastation. And here is a woman on my left basically weaving a makeshift palm branches to form a makeshift structure that they would probably occupy in the few time or in the few days to come. So she is basically going ahead to create more of this that they'll be putting together in essence to have a place to lay their head over the night. David Merakunuka omnele.
Maraku baku.
Nuka na pumbi akwe.
Maku echi akanare mi fumbo mi akoko wo pototera anu kono management.
Ame abamne ni mi ozaga ko single room.
Single room. Emi pomale ka atiere ka mi pogo ba atiomo awinga. Atiomo uma mi zanga ba atiomo uta form omo winga afiata ko single room.
Take a look around you. You would see makeshift structures. This is the third location where residents of Fuveme have relocated to, basically to take shelter in the interim. Raphael Agbanavo is the assembly member for the Atiteti electoral area, the one whom the people here take their cries to anytime the sea comes chasing them. Raphael, how have you been receiving their complaints?
Very terrible. Because we can see in the background, this is not an actual home of these people. Because some 6 years ago, people are living in decent accommodations in the Puvama. But this here we find ourselves currently in these temporary structures. So people are really devastated. In reality, as from Sunday, where we suffered this disaster today, there's nothing of relief item to the victims. Since 2016, government cannot say they are not aware of this. If government officials should be saying they are not aware of what is happening at Puvema, for that matter, Gokaji, there will be a surprise. The problem here is not about giving food, food, mattresses to the people. People need protection because this is the third time people have relocated here. So if the relocation could solve the problem, I don't think we could have suffered this disaster just Sunday a week ago. So in actual fact, it's not about moving the people. It's a matter of protecting the coastshore of Agbokeji Puvem. One should imagine that if this seawater should have a union of the river at back of this community, one should imagine what could be the effect in terms of infrastructure, where they put a sea defense over here to protect the rest of the land.
Fikini la fifi lai.
Maraku mala mara fama.
Lukatana la mara papa mado.
Maraku cheva. Cheva rafana.
Ta enye no pon fifi la mala wonto apa mo.
Awo. Shia mala fifi la fia awenya pa me ya. Kaka fifi ni mala famu amara fa me mala.
Lekene ko agbenom la ma agbo afuma.
Agbenono.
Abe leke ndudu kpaji pleto leke mi ko leke agba ko ile.
Nururu ama ojiyan pon. Nururu wa kpaji ama ojiyan pon.
Ela be
Nyanu shanu gblan. Nyanu kata nu shanu gblan. Ta me agbamala ojiyan pon.
I have my imaginary monitor right before me and I'm going to type Kofi is going to school. The students or the residents here are being chased out of their community. And for that matter, children that are supposed to be learning in these classrooms obviously have deserted their classroom because the sea or the tidal wave impact is heavily weighing on their education. This is a system unit that has totally corroded by the impact of tidal wave, the sea breeze and everything. And since that, they've abandoned all these machines to go waste. What is the assembly doing about education in this particular community? The DC, Seth Yomohu, has been speaking to me on this matter. The issue seems to be worsening over time. What are we doing about this?
What we need to do now, that's why I classify it to be short-term and long-term. The short-term now is that the community people, we have to get a place for them, to relocate them, so that at the end, they can be coming here, doing their fishing expedition to end their livelihood and those things. So those are the things we have to look at now.
In the long term, what do we do?
In the long term, my brother, what we need to do is about the sea defense wall. Because what happens is that if you go to Adan now, they have constructed sea defense there. So because of that, all the impact is now on Huveme. Because of the sea defense wall they have constructed there. So the sea defense will have to come from Adan to Qatar.
Have you ever probably planned to engage the community on the subject of climate change for them to understand the need for them to even relocate in the first place? Because we need to build climate change resilient communities.
Yes, as we are saying, we know that because of climate change, that's why we are here today. Because formally, as the climate, we have that stability and there is no change in those things, and these things are not here. So what we do as assembly is that we educate them. So we have program on climate change. At times we have some NGO organization, they will come to the assembly. We invite the people from this community to join us. But the problem we are having is that when you are living in some community for a longer period of time, moving from the place is very difficult for the people. So when we start this engagement in 2021, more or less communities and people are feeling reluctant to move.
I saw children studying in this particular classroom. Today it is gone. The next one is just behind. The water has gotten to a level. It will obviously go anyway. What are you doing for the school kids?
When those things are happening as assembly, we came and do some temporary structure for them here so that our students here, the people here can have access to education. But this one too is gone, as we have just said, because 2021, when you come here at the end, you can see that you have a school block here for our students. But now it's gone. We are just lucky that when those things are happening, we have a contract, which is the